Because you see, for me, ambition and why it always feels like we are running to do the next project. It's because I know what poverty tastes like. I'm never going back there. Exactly.
Hey, this one is a good one. This CTA, if you're catching us here, because pengine umesoma the title, you've read the title, or somebody has shared this, do your life a favor. Start from the beginning. It's amazing to understand the story in context of where it is the story is going. Anyway, we've thrown a lot of stuff, and I don't want us to forget. We've talked here. So we're going to come to your dad, but there was something you were saying about friends. That's how to make rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Yeah, you said something to the. You said that up to now I've not mentioned friends, and yeah, so I was. It took me to a moment when I started realizing I didn't have friends. And this was in high school, just when my dad passed away. So he passed on in August. So tumefunga shule. I'm in Form 2 at this point. So that week where everyone is just in the house coming to console with you guys, everyone had people coming for them. I didn't have a single person who came for me.
Wow.
And at that point, it hit me, wait, when I don't have friends, there's no one I can genuinely reach out to and tell them my dad has passed on, and they come to see me. So from that point, I became acutely aware that either my social skills are bad. What I know I'm bad at is maintaining friendships. I am bad at, when I don't do social calls, I'm not good at that. Yeah, so that was the first time it really hit me. I need to, yeah, I haven't gotten good at it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's interesting that you say that. So it took me to that moment.
No, I would say you've gotten good at it. You've got somebody who's a ride or die. You know the way a lot of people say, I can't call three. I can't call three people on my finger who can come for me. Yeah. The truth is, people can't even call one.
Yo, that is sad.
People can't call one who will say, I'll auction my car for you.
You know, I've always tried to think.
You can.
Yeah. So when I think about it, sometimes you know that thing I said, I come from like two worlds. Groya ghetto, Kenda, Karusha wali bougie. So I was never bougie enough for the bougie people. And I was never ghetto enough for the ghetto. So nilikuanga confusing. Do pia nikikaa na watu wa ghetto sana Islanda, like bro, now that's too gangster. Nikikaa nao wengine niko nyinyi mnaishi wapi? Come back to earth. So I think maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Actually, that's crazy. I don't want us to run over this place, and that's why I wanted you to first finish the friends bit.
Yeah.
I don't want us to run over this place where the foundation that you guys had is literally broken,
right,
and taken away. Right. It's like there's a new foundation. You're telling me your dad's gone.
Yeah.
And your mom's not working.
Yeah.
Your dad has worked all this way to move you guys from the ghetto to now you're in Parklands.
Yes.
Middle class or even upper middle class.
Yeah.
And now it's looking like next stage is to narudi back to poverty.
Yeah. Your life never becomes the same after you lose a parent.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyone who loses their parent, life after that. So like some of the effects that has had, I was already bad at making friends. When I lost my dad, I intentionally avoid getting close to people.
Wow. Because
of the pain I felt. So in my head, I'm always like, you're going to die and leave me. And then I'm going to feel that pain again.
Wow.
In fact, for the longest time, I used to think there's something wrong with me. And until I sat with a therapist, and they told me it's how some people process death and grief. So, Richie, mimi nikitaka kujua, like you're really, really close to me, I will dream with your death.
Wow.
And I know that's a freaky thing to say, but if I dream with you dying, then I know it's going to hurt me. And it's my way of processing the hurt that I might feel in case you were to ever leave me. So the few people that I've dreamt leaving me, I know those are the closest people to my heart. Because that's how I started processing after my dad passed away. That's how I started. Anyone who was close to me, I'd reimagine over and over again of them passing away. So that it's like I'm prepping myself for the heart. Yeah, so losing my dad made me not get close to people. I don't get super close to people. I'm friendly. I'm very approachable, but I don't let people in a lot. Yeah.
You know, hey, Phil. Hey. Boni Gotea, thank you for being open and sharing. So, there's two things that I want to talk about this thing that you've just said. Number one, you said people who lose a parent. I'll be honest with you, that's not it. The people who've lost parents who don't care because the parents were not present.
Okay.
The parents were not
That's true.
intentional.
Yeah.
The parents were not their foundation. There's a lot of people who are not close with their parents, and therefore you've gone. And I know it sounds crazy that I'm saying this, but I know people are watching and relate. So for you, this guy has been the one who has gotten you to where it is that you are. That pain gongas you to the place where you were bad at friendships, now you become
worse. Yeah, worse.
At this time, are you dating?
No, I'm in high school. No. So I'm in Form 2.
Are you looking at chiles like that? Or now is maybe when you're starting?
This is high school, so nothing serious. Oh, there's another thing. I think iliharibu millennials that I didn't mention in growing up in Dandora. Growing up, that time we were growing up in Dandora is when the HIV scourge like really hit, HIV and AIDS.
I get it.
So the number of, for some reason, I don't know why, there was HIV and AIDS and ghettos to date. I don't get it. I have never known the relationship, but there are more HIV and AIDS cases in ghettos than there are in upper middle class or middle class. So there was, at its peak, there were so many sick people in Dandora. So I saw the worst of HIV and AIDS. Like, you know that neighbor you know, and then anajifungia kwa nyumba, you've not seen them for months. And then one day you see them, they are ashy, they look like ghosts because they have sores all over their body, they are skinny. The number of times we saw medics coming to collect bodies from houses of people who died. Because again, HIV and AIDS, at that point, the stigma was crazy. So ungejulikana uko na ukimwi, ni hivyo. Society, no one is taking care of you. Your own family has abandoned you. Your neighbors have abandoned you. So there were a lot of people who die by themselves. So if there's one thing, our generation, we were scarred when it comes to relation. Most of us, this thing of getting chicks and sex tulianza much later because we were scarred. And those documentaries by Tuju, I don't know if you watched them. Wait. Yeah, I'm seeing your guy over here nodding his head. So we grew up with this fear of chicks. I mean, getting into relationships and sex. We got into that much later.
Dude, I completely agree.
But they ask a lot of millennials who grew up during that period. But there's sex and yeah. Not like right now. Yeah.
Like us guys having sex in high school was never even an option. Like it was, like I remember me, I went to SA. And SA, my SA was like the highest level of AIDS globally. My guy kept my Johnny in the pants. This guy freewheeling nothing. There was none. You were carrying there. I had actually fear of that and fear of getting a kid out of wedlock.
Right.
Those are the two things.
Because that was also. So I see the way young guys are having sex nowadays. I'm like, guy. Kwani amuogopi ukimwi? I think for us it was such a thing that was drummed into us. So yes, so I'm not dating. Where was this question going?
So let me ask you. So, and now my second part of where I wanted to go with this story is, you know, people see you guys on social media.
Yeah.
And you guys look like the perfect friendship group. You, Abel, Judy, Sele, Njugosh, Butita. You can see from the outside, everybody's trying. And I'm sure everybody wants to enter that circle. You guys look like the perfect thing.
Right.
Even now when I'm hearing you say Abel, I'm not hearing you say that much Njugosh or Butita.
Right.
Umeniweka
kwa sport. But I think Abel is what, because we met straight into Kole, like first day. We met, ametoka Kibera, nimetoka Dandora, so stories zetu tu zina merge, si wote tunapenda drama and film. So you know, I've known him for like 20 years now, almost 20 years now. So yes, he features a lot in my adult life.
Yes.
So
and
moving on,
partners.
And we're business. So we work together, we went to school. So I think every aspect of my life, you're going to hear the name Abel being mentioned. Now, Njugush and Butita and the others, they've come in my career much later on. So they won't feature as much as Abel. But as we get into career, I'm sure they'll start featuring.
But what I'm talking about is just from a friendship perspective of where it's not, you see, it's not always work. This is a guy you call to chill with.
Yes. For sure.
It's just, it's anyway, tutafika hapo. So let me go back to this
foundation
thing of losing your dad.
Right.
Does that affect your living condition?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bro, usiniambie unarudi.
Sikurudi, thankfully. So pia I've grown up with very strong women. So pia mama yangu ni kichwa ngumu. So my dad has passed on. He's the sole breadwinner. My mom at this point is not working. She has 5 kids. Single mom with 5 kids. We're living in Parklands. So everyone is telling her, na kumkata kuna harambe tulifanyiwa with the family, tupate 1 lump sum to relocate turudi Ushago. Because in Shags, my dad wako na nyumba, kuna land. I remember my mom saying, watoto wanaendanga shule iko na hadi swimming pool na computer. Sipeleki mtoto wangu Ushago. For my mom, it was like a switch. It was a survival switch. At that point, she used to look for work because she used to be a teacher. By the time she was getting, our last ones are twins. Twins. So at that point, she couldn't work and take care of twins. So she quit teaching. So at this point, in 2000, is when now she's like looking for work to go back to being a teacher. She switched and started doing business. And she became really good at it. Like, sisi wote, the 5 of us, tumesomeshwa na madhe doing businesses.
And what businesses? Whatever.
So she, over the years, she had tried several things, but the one that stuck and took us through schooling was alianza kutengeneza soap, liquid soap. And bar soaps. Bro, mimi naza kutengeneza liquid soaps. So ukinileta ingredients, because we became now, that became a family hustle. So if you're at home in the evening, tuko na makarai na mandoza, 20 liters, we are mixing ingredients, we have mask, tuko hapo tunakoroga. Because amepewa order, we need 200 liters of liquid soap for a school, for an institution. So she became super.
And who was doing business development? Who was getting the biashara?
It was one-man army. Yes. Again, back to the word exposure. I genuinely believe my mom right now will be a multi-millionaire if she was just slightly exposed. Ajue vitu kama hizo. Because, I mean, alitusomesha. So at some point, the business was doing really well. But now she didn't know things like scaling. Yeah. Because I think my mom will be competing with these big brands right now. She'd have an entire factory. Because the reason she stopped, you know, she's using all these chemicals, inaanza kumu affect health-wise. Yeah, so if she was just slightly...
You know, leadership, she didn't know, it was hustle.
It was hustle to educate my kids and feed my kids.
So did you get kicked out of school because of lack of school fees? Ama saa zingine unge delay?
Tunge delay, but kuna vile angeenda onge now. She was a proper hustler. Also, we used to get a lot of... So thankfully, in our family, we are pretty... We are good academically. Actually, mimi ndo nakuanga danda kwetu. Like, all my sisters are A students. So we'd also get a few grants from churches and organizations that will help.
Did you get any from the government? Bursary, help?
Yes. Help for my elder sister. Actually, all my sisters, because they went to public unis. Bursaries from, I think, Madhik. Yes. Alikuwa anaziendea kwa chief.
You know why I say this?
Yeah.
Again, I'm very conscious that I'm having a leadership series. People, as much as we speak negative about the government, there are so many people who've sat here and told me that they went to school kwa sababu gava iliwalipia shule. Because the government paid for them to go to the school.
Oh, yes.
Now imagine a situation like your mom.
Yeah, without government. And I think that's why even with our current government right now, we are super pissed. Despite all the issues we've always had in government, some things have been sacred. Some things have worked.
Usishike some vitu.
Health. Bana usishike health. Education. Bursaries. Hizo vitu zimesaidia watu sana. Yeah, health.
You know, I know somebody who missed out on a full scholarship kwa sababu wali freeze IDs. Imagine.
Sasa ID una freeze ya nini?
You know that time when they froze the... Anyway, tutaingia hapa. So you guys didn't move out of Parklands?
So, unakumbuka nikiwa class 8, hii nyumba tunaishi saizi ni mimi nilienda kutafuta. So, this is August, my dad has passed, my mom is very clear that she cannot afford the rent. So, she tells me, aya, toka endo tutafutie nyumba.
So, budget ni?
Budget ni hii, endo tutafute hao. So, nilipata hao in Ngara, where my mom lives till date.
Yes.
By the way, weird enough, nilienda nikagetio hao, but by the time I was going back to school, they had not moved. So mi nilienda shule, tukiishi hao iko Parklands. So even when they came for visiting in school, wakatuambia, oh, by the ile hao, tulihamia. So ukifunga shule usiende the old house. Kuja huku hivi. So I didn't even know. Yeah. So we moved to a much smaller house in Ngara. My mom outwardly refused to downgrade us. She was like, no. Watoto wangu, ile life tumewapatia saizi. I'm not downgrading. And she worked her life. Yani, my mom is a super hustler. I think the business side I've tapped from her. Yeah.
Hey bro, you were forced to grow up early.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, your life you've been forced to mature. But also without your dad knowing he was going to leave, he prepared you.
Yes. Yes, he did. I was listening to an interview by the NVIDIA CEO. He's called Hans, someone. And he was saying that good leadership comes from character. Good character, and character comes from pain.
Wow.
Trauma, which unisumbua, because when you look at very good leaders, there's some form of pain. There's something that
Mandela.
Yeah, there's something that just pushes you, because you've been there, you've been down here, you never want to go back. So you never settle, like you're always on the go. But at the same time now that scares me, because I'm like, I don't want my kids to go through pain and trauma. No, I want my kids to have the best. But does that then remove the ambition from them? If there's a conversation, Richie, if you're able to figure out, let me know. How do you give your kids the best, but still let them have the ambition? Because you see, for me, ambition, and why it always feels like we are running to do the next project, it's because I know what poverty tastes like. I'm never going back there. Exactly. But I don't want my kids to ever taste poverty. But I want them to have the same zeal and ambition. If you figure that out, charge me. Whatever class, whatever lesson it is, I will come. I
call it the 4 Ps. Every human has to go through the 4 Ps. And it's from the book of Joseph.
Okay.
So Joseph goes through the pit. His brothers. Anaomoka is in Potiphar's house. Then he's in the prison. And then he's in the palace. Those are stages of life. It doesn't matter who you are.
Bro.
You have to go through them.
That is deep. Kwanza hapo Potiphar's. Hapo ndio wasiupotea.
Yes. Potiphar's house is a very dangerous place. Because Potiphar's house to the prison. Ulikuwa ume-arrive. In your mind, especially umetoka, so now let me give a random example. Umetoka Dandora, umeingia hapa. In your mind, this is the peak.
Kabisa.
Now, you're moved from that, you're moved into prison. Prison feels like worse than even Dandora. So that destroys a lot of people.
Right.
Because, and you hear a lot of people get stuck there, but they don't understand that this prison is the final sharpening point. On CTA, I have a video called The Purpose of the Prison. When I did it with the Julian Kula, nilikuwa kwa prison.
Bro.
And the prison is so powerful and necessary. And then now you go to the palace. So, and it's not nothing we can plan.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're the poorest or the richest human being in life. Stages of life is that.
Prison.
No, pit.
Pit. Prison. I have Potiphar's house, prison, palace. Oh my God, it makes so much sense. That's amazing.
Anyway, tuendelee na hii conversation. So, transition me out of high school.
Out of high school.
Does that affect your grades?
Oh, a lot. Remember, I used to pass because of my dad. It's good. Nilikuwa nasoma because of my dad. Because if I fail, I'm not enjoying my holidays. Remember, he's still a teacher. At this point, he had graduated from being a primary school teacher. He was now teaching accounts in like all the colleges.
What?
Yeah, accounting. He took himself back to school. He upgraded, so he started teaching the colleges and universities when it comes to accounting. And he was a really good teacher. So that's why he was able to upgrade our life.
And he would have kept going.
He would have, man. He would have. Anyway. But that's why I always tell people, take care of your body, because at some point the stresses of life will come, and at that point your body will either give in or it will push you. Yeah, because what he was going through was very normal. Ilikuwa stress ya life. Kuna watu watano, economy na kunyorosha, but you're not healthy, you're not taking care of your body. So then now your body just gives in. So I always say, I'm planning to be wealthy, so let me take care of my body now. Ndio doi kikam, bado niko na nguvu ya kudishi.
I like it.
You know,
umeniongelesha.
Nimekuongelesha.
Imagine.
Hey, manze, hey, Richie, hey, imagine hii hustle yote unanadili, and then when the wealth kicks in, you can't even enjoy it. Anyway, so yes, so immediately after my dad passes, I don't have the pressure to do well in school. Remember, my mom was not super like academician like my dad, so, and her, she was very supportive. So I went from being a B+, A- student in Form 1, Form 2, beginning of Form 2, I went all the way to D.
Wow.
Being a D student, and I kind of wallowed there for the longest. By the time I was natoka Form 4, nilitoka na C. C, was it a C plane or a C-? I was like, in my head, I was done with school. Yeah, so go through high school. I clear Form 4 in 2004. I get a grade C. Yeah, it was a C. So at this point, says ingia kampo. Kwetu kwa nyumba yetu inajulikananga, ukimaliza high school unaingia campus. Sasa wewe umetuletea C. Unataka kufanya nini? Best question ever.